Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Anne Hale. On September 26th of 2020, I received a prophetic word about Biden, Harris, and Trump. What I thought was going to be a timely word for that season actually appears to be a description of events that have recently unfolded. I have to confess that back then, I was a bit confused about this word as well as a few others that apparently didn't come to pass as predicted. My first thought was that I had discerned inaccurately, and so was going to remove the posts from my blog site. But the Lord stopped me by saying, in a very firm voice, there will be no retractions. So in obedience, I complied. And here we are 4 years later, and the Lord brought that specific word back to mind. He had me wait to share it until after Biden had addressed the nation and from his own mouth rescinded his candidacy. I've included a link to the original post in the description box below. And this is what I heard. The one who is waiting in the wings shall soon walk out onto the stage as the lead. For though she was presented to the people in the role of understudy, her name shall soon have top billing once she assumes the position of the main character. So like any performer who longs for the fortune and influence which comes from fame, this stateswoman is no different, except instead of seeking the bright lights of the theater, she chose to act on the political stage. Like any actress who has studied and practiced her craft, this stateswoman has learned how to play her part well, especially in the public eye. So like a chameleon who changes color to better fit her environment, she is able to easily adapt and portray whatever personality is needed in any given moment. Though she does not have the skill set nor the polish of those seasoned veterans in her field, still has she quickly risen to the top, for she has picked up the techniques of others who have known success in politics. And yet, because of the inauthentic portrayal of her role, the insincerity in her remarks and speeches reads through like an actress who has not fully connected with her audience. However, some who have made it on the silver screen or landed major roles in Broadway plays have been a hit, but not because they were particularly talented. As what gained these celebrities their fame and stardom was directly credited to who they knew, and not by virtue of their talent. Even still, some who aren't especially gifted have been awarded with acclaim, though there are obviously more talented candidates to choose from. Yet this stateswoman was selected nonetheless, for those who are heavily invested in the former VP's campaign knew that a walk-on would be needed as his replacement when it became clear he was not up to the job. So though the media and those closest to him are trying to cover up his incompetence for just a bit longer, as they have set a date in mind, one which they planned in advance to switch around the billing on their ticket at the optimum moment. Then, like a co-star who is suddenly cast to play the lead, this stateswoman is about to receive top billing and be asked to step out onto center stage. But for those who are paying attention, this development won't come as a surprise. For the former VP, though he has held a seat in public office for decades, will have no choice but to retire from the race. However, when his running mate was selected, it was not her popularity amongst the left-leaning in this country that gave her the edge, for there were others amongst the potential pool who were more well-liked. Yet she was chosen just the same, because her name was linked to some of the very powerful leaders in the world. It is precisely their political ties which gave her the advantage and made her the more desirable pick. Since she has already climbed into bed with some of the most corrupting influences from both foreign and national leaders, those running the former VP's campaign knew she would be the perfect pick, as the needle of her own moral compass aligned perfectly with the low standards of integrity found in most politicians. So while it is her name that shall be put forth as the replacement for the former VP, she is not the one who, even right now, is calling the shots. In reality, she, as well as a few others who sought the Democratic nomination, were offered deals that would be greatly beneficial to their careers if they would simply step out of the race. Those who run the party had early on decided that the former VP would be the one selected, and therefore did some maneuvering to secure his position as the one who would face off against the president. Although the American people have been led to believe that they had some say in the nomination process, what was presented as an organic outcome was actually an orchestrated effort to ensure the former VP was indeed the last candidate standing. Then even this was planned and staged as if a scene rehearsed from a badly written play. However, most citizens don't think beyond what they are told, and so simply accept that the former VP would be the nominee. So like the second act of a drama, the curtain is about to lift and open to the scene where the former VP bows out of the race, handing his running mate the lead position, where she would, if selected, be president instead of him. Then watch, for very soon the former VP will take his final bow and then exit the political stage forever, since he can no longer carry out the duties and responsibility which his position requires. Then once this stateswoman assumes the lead, expect an even more aggressive attack against the president, where she will say whatever she feels needs to be said, regardless of its truthfulness, to knock the president down from his platform. She is willing, therefore, to push the limits and take extreme measures, regardless of the lies she is telling about him. Therefore, don't be disheartened when you see these developments unfold before your very eyes. Remember who it is that holds the higher authority over mankind and all that dwells upon the earth. Do not be persuaded by fear to measure what is happening all around with your natural eye. For what is seen happening at the surface of this election season does not depict what I am doing in the supernatural realm. So don't give up or quit fighting just because tensions are rising, for this is indeed to be expected before a great move of my spirit happens. Then establish this idea in your hearts so that you aren't taken aback by the turn of events in the coming days. For if you will keep your thoughts stayed upon the revelation that increased adversity is necessary for revival to come, then instead of feeling overwhelmed with fear, your heart can be at rest because you understand a greater good is being done on the earth. Take note of this happening, but don't be drawn into the drama, for it is my will which shall supersede all of man's plans and schemes. Stay the course and be determined in your hearts, for I have come to change this nation by reviving her people with the breath of my spirit. Thanks again for joining me today.